This Chaitanya Bhagavat, and we're continuing discussion of Radha Nama Mahima, the glories of Radharani's holy name. The name of Radha, Radha, Radha. Yesterday we heard from Prabhupada Saraswati, Vrindavana Mahimamrta, that you can search all the Vedas and all the Agamas, and you'll not find these two aksharas, Ra, Da. But he told that this Guyam, a great secret. And the secret is, if someone chants these two syllables, Radha, then he will attain all spiritual perfections, and all the opulences of God will come in his hand, and moreover he will attain Prema Bhakti. That's the benefit of one who chants this holy name of Radharani, Radha. Then he went on to explain the effect of this holy name on Krishna, that if Krishna hears someone chant the holy name of Radha, he becomes conquered. He becomes conquered by that person. And if we chant Radha, 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 then Krishna will come running to us. Bhagavan will come running, and he'll say, "What do you want? Why are you chanting the name of my beloved?" He said, "Oh, I want your mercy. And she's Karunamayi. She's your compassionate side. She's your greatest devotee. So devotees are your Kripa Shakti Murti. So there's no greater devotee than Radharani. So no one is more of a reservoir of Kripa than Radharani. So if I chant Radha, 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 then you'll come running and then say, 'What do you want?' Say, 'I want mercy.' I say, 'All right, I guess I have to give it to you because you called Radharani's name, and all this power comes from me anyway.' So then Krishna gives his mercy. And then we heard, not only that, if someone chants Radharani's name, then Krishna starts crying. He actually starts weeping if he hears someone chanting Radharani's name. He starts crying. So then we can ask a question. I was thinking, if you want to title a lecture yesterday, I don't know if you loaded it, you would say, "When Krishna Cries." When Krishna Cries. It's very catchy. When he's in Dwarka with Satyabhama and Rukmini, reigning as the king of Dwarka, and sometimes in his Swapna Vilas, Krishna dreams of Vrindavan in his youth and his days of cowherding with Subal and Sridham and Dauji, his elder brother, and thousands and lakhs of cows, and sporting in the trees of Mandiravan, and splashing water and swimming in the Yamuna, and chasing the shadows of the birds on the beaches, and mimicking the sounds of the monkeys and the posture and the faces of the monkeys, and going to the abandoned wells in the field and leaning over in the well and say, "Stupid!" And then the echo comes back, "Stupid, stupid!" And he says, "What, you're talking to me? What, you talking to me? Hey, don't talk to me. Hey, don't talk to me." So they would get angry with the echo coming out of the deep abandoned wells in the field, and they would call dirty names in the well. And then the well would echo back dirty names, and the boys would pick up stones and throw in the well. "Hey, you stupid!" So this way Krishna remembered his childhood Balya Leela and his sporting in Vrindavan with the Gopas. But then that was occasional, and he would laugh in his sleep and giggle. And the Mahishis of Dwarka, the queens of Dwarka, were wondering, "Oh, our husband's so sober. He's the king of Dwarka. Every day he goes to the royal assembly, to Sudama assembly house, and he presides over all the Vrishnis and Yadavas under the reign of King Ugrasen, and his father Vasudeva is there, who is a king, and Devaki is there, and Balaram, everyone is there, Rohini. But yet at night he's giggling and laughing like a young coward boy. And then occasionally, time to time, especially on Purnima, on the full moon, when Dwarkadish would look over the ocean, and he would see over the ocean, and you see up in the sky, and you see the full moon, and then seeing the dark water of the ocean. Maybe that's what that is called, I don't know, that ocean over there, off of Dwarka, Arabian Sea or something. Maybe it's called the Arabian Sea. He would see the dark waters shimmering under the moonshine, and he would remember Kalindi. He would remember the Yamuna, Sharad Purnima and Sharad season in Vrindavan. He would say, oh, many years ago, now I'm 90 years old, I'm 100 years old, but when I was 10, 90 years ago when I was 10 years old, I lived in the forest of Vrindavan. I ran through the pastures with the cows, Gochar and Leela, Goshta Leela. And at night I played my flute and I called the gopis, the Goparamanis, Ramaniya Murti Sham. He's the Ramaniya Murti. And I would call them with my flute and they would run, with sometimes with one earring on, only one earring on one ear, or kajal on one eye, or lipstick only on the top lips, or the bottom, their clothing, their chunery will be tied around their waist like a sash. Their top cloth would be on the bottom cloth on the top. They would take their chunery and tie it for a sari, or a lehengra, tie their chunery for a lehengra, and take the lehengra and tie it around their head like a veil or chunery. And they're all upside down, topsy-turvy dressed. Because they are so much vibram and bewildered by the impulse of love and the force of Cupid, which drove them forth into the forest to run after the dulcet sound of my Murali, vibrating under the full moon night, and the twinkling stars above, and the gentle waves of the Yamuna lapping on the shores of the Yamuna Tata, the banks of the Yamuna. A very idyllic scene, surcharged with romantic sentiments and all the sweetness and softness of a night in fall. Not too cold, not too warm, a little warm and then a little chill in the air. So when you dance, and dance in a circular dance in the mandal of Ras, with all the gopis hand in hand, linking arm in arm, hand in hand, cheek to cheek, dancing in a circle under the moonbeams, then you may get a little bit warm, but then a gentle cool breeze would blow from the Yamuna, which was scented with the blossoming utpula flowers and the komudi flowers, white lotuses. And sometimes the wind would come from the southern side. And the southern side of UP is Madhya Pradesh. And Madhya Pradesh is covered with sandalwood trees, Malayan hills. And the Malayan breeze would carry a sandal-scented air from the south side, Dakshin Dig, refreshing all the gopis. Because if you feel fatigued, there's different ways to become refreshed. One way is to take a cold bath. You take a cold bath in a river or lake, very refreshing, extremely refreshing and enervating. Or to relax, or to rest, or to wash your feet in cold water, or to feel some cool breezes, or to smell some very nice fragrances. You come into a temple on a hot summer day, very hot, blistering hot, scorching days in May and June in Vrindavan. And if you wander in those days, the small little lanes between Ratia Bazaar and Govindaji, and from Govindaji on to Gopinath, and wander your way around here and there in the back lanes and gullies of Vrindavan, as I did 25, 30 years ago. And you find all these little roadside temples, little tiny houses, and the deities are inside, but when the nighttime you see the little light is there and they're facing the doorway, you see all their beautiful faces shining out the doorway in the dark depths of their house. And in those temples, when you go in the bigger temples like Govindaji and Gopinath, they'd have what they call full bungalow. And sometimes they would spend 1 lakh or 2 lakhs of rupees, $4,000. They would spend $4,000 to decorate the temple with arches and pathways and beautiful lattice frames of lattices and lattice work, all interwoven with hundreds and hundreds and thousands, literally, of mogra garlands, jasmine garlands. Very, very cooling, very, very refreshing. And you forget the heat of the day, you forget your fatigue, you forget the entire material world and everything about it. You just become merged in a refreshed, merged in the ambience of the temple, and totally refreshed and relaxed, breathing and inhaling that beautiful maha fragrance of jasmine that's been smelled by Lord Gopinath. So this was summers in Vrindavan. So now we're hearing today some more glories of Radha's name. And this Radha's name is a Yuga mantra. It's a complete form of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, chapter 17, verse 89. This is from Vrindavana Mahimamrta. Hare Krishna Krishneti Krishneti Mukyan Mahascharya Namavali Siddhamantran Kripa Murti Chaitanya Deva Upagatim Karabhyasya Vrindavane Syam Kritarta. When will my heart become satiated by chanting in Vrindavan the Hare Krishna mantra? This Hare Krishna mantra is very, very merciful. This mantra was distributed by the most merciful Sri Chaitanya Dev, and he personally chanted it while distributing this mantra to the fallen conditioned souls of Kali Yuga. This was an expression of his extreme compassion, his karuna. The holy names of the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna mantra, of Sri Hari are mixed with the mellows of love. They are full of spiritual energies and glories. Hare Krishna Krishneti Krishneti Mukyan Maha Ascharya Namavali Siddhamantran. Namavali, this string, Avali, this string or series of holy names is Maha Ascharya. Ascharya means what? Ascharya. There's Adbhuta, there's Chamatkar, Ascharya. What's the difference? Adbhuta means amazing.
Wonder.
And Chamatkar means what?
Magic.
Wonderful. No.
Magical.
Magical. And then Ascharya means wonderful, wonderous.
Wondrous.
Yeah. Wondrous.
Wondrous. So it's Maha Ascharya, extremely wondrous and wonderful string of names. These 16 names, 32 syllables. And they're Siddhamantran. Kripa Murti Chaitanya Deva Upagitan. Upagitan. Gita means song, Upa means loudly. Broadcasting everywhere. Upagita. Kripa Murti Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the form of mercy, the Lord's mercy. The Lord came as Leela Purushottam 5,000 years ago to dance the ras and to play with the cows and to love his mother and steal butter and yogurt and be bound as Damodar by his mother's rope of love. But then 528 years ago, Krishna came again as the form, as the avatar of love, compassion, mercy. Namo Maha Varanyaya Krishna Prema Pradaya. Varanyaya, very magnanimous, kind, merciful Lord. His Leela was not relishing his intimate pastimes with his Brijvasi's friends. His Leela was distributing mercy externally and distributing compassion for the conditioned souls. Krishna wasn't so much distributing mercy to conditioned souls. He was busy enjoying his association with his devotees. And sometimes demons would come, Rakshas, Putana, Bakasura, Agasura, Trinavarta, Vyomasura, Kams, Shakat, Asura, Kalyanag. And Krishna would say, you're disturbing my Leela. You're disturbing my Leela with my loved ones. Now get out from here. Boom, pop, pit, pat, tit, tat. And we just knock them out and kill them and vanquish them. Because Leela Purushottam, he's busy embracing Leela. Leela means Lingata. Prema Lingata, Lelo. Leela. Li Prema Lingata. Loving embraces. So if some demon Rakshas comes and tries to get in the way of your loving embraces, that's not nice. That is not good. So then he has to be put out of commission, driven away. Because Putana said, I want to embrace you, my little child. So she grabbed him to embrace him and rubbed so much Kalakuta poison on her breast to kill 10,000 men. And Krishna said, you came to embrace me like a mother, like a datri, offering me your milk. But you want to kill me. This is not nice. My mother embraces me and she nourishes me. She enervates me and gives me life with her love and her breast milk. Pavana Poshana. But you come pose his mother, disguise his mother, and you want to kill me. This is not very nice. This is not a loving embrace, to murder someone. So I have to murder you first. So goodbye. So he killed Putana Rakshasi, but then he liberated her. He was so kind that he made her a datri. He said, okay, you came as nurse, but you had some mixed motives. So let's kill this body which has all these bad motives. Start again. Like sometimes you say, well, maybe I should start again. This body is not very good. This mind is even worse. So I want to get a new body with a better body and a better mind. Women will say, I want to be a man. And men will say, I want to be a richer man with a better mind, or whatever. Everyone will agree, whether one is a man or a woman, everyone will agree they want a better mind. more expert or more peaceful or less agitated, etc. These holy names of Krishna mixed with the mellows of love. Kripa Murti Chaitanya Deva Kada Abhyasya Vrindavane Sham Kritarta. Sham Kritarta Vrindavane. Kada Abhyas. It doesn't seem like that's what it means, what he's trying to. Kada Abhyas. Looks like, when will I stay in Vrindavan and chant these names? Let's see another translation, this 89. When chanting the Siddha mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, which are the most wonderful names of Bhagavan, Swami Bhagavan. And this wonderful Siddha mantra, the Maha mantra, the Hare Krishna Maha Siddha mantra, came from the mouth, Hare Krishna Krishneti Krishneti Mukyan, the muk, of the Kripamurti Chaitanya. He is compassion personified, like Radharani. We say, Krunamayi Radha. Radharani's name is Vrindavaneshwari, Radhika, Radharani, Swamini, Sri Radha, Vrishabhanu Nandini, Ashtashaki Shiromani, Kano Mano Mohini, Kanu Mano Mohini, Pitambari. But here we see she is called Karunamayi. She's made of compassion. So he's called Kripamurti, so he's also mercy, compassion personified. When will I become perfect in Vrindavan? Kada abhyas Vrindavane sham kritarta. Krita art. When will I act to attain this great value, this great objective, which is provided by this Siddha mantra? Kada abhyas Vrindavane sham. When will I live in Vrindavan and daily practice this mantra? Kada means when. Abhyas means daily practice. Because recognizing it's a Siddha mantra, we're being reminded of the power and identity and unique position of this mantra. We take all for granted. We take it as something very ordinary, when it's actually something ascharya. Ascharya means more than ordinary. Everyone in India, North India especially, has heard of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Rickshaws chant it, gurus chant it, shishyas chant it, children chant it, everyone chants. But does everyone have the idea and have the understanding that it's Maha Ascharya? It's a most greatly wondrous Siddha mantra. Siddha mantra, perfect mantra. It's called Maha Mantra. So many mantras are there. This mantra, that mantra, Radha mantra. Someone will say, what is your Ishta mantra? What is your Guru mantra, Ishta mantra? So there's mantras, so many thousand lakhs of mantras. But this is Maha Mantra, Siddha Mantra. It is the best, perfect mantra. So now that's establishing the wonderful identity of this Yuga Mantra. And he's encouraging us and reminding us of the Nam Mahima. This is Radha Nama Mahima. This is section 20 of Vrindavana Mahimamrta, which we're discussing. Radha Nama Mahima, the glories of Radha's name. And of course, Radha's names are 50% of the Siddha mantra. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Yuga mantra. Yuga means Radha and Krishna. Hare is Hara Radha. Shakti and Shaktiman. Shaktiman is Krishna. Raman is Radha Raman. So this is Radha's name is there. So Radha's name is Siddha mantra. Now the topmost ultimate glory is Radha Nam. This is in 17th chapter, 125. And 126. Vrindavan yotamam nasti mato haramam kvachit Radha Nama prabhavena jari shan melanam toyo. The meeting of the most insignificant with the most important is impossible. So it's impossible for a insignificant person to meet a very powerful, important person. That's common understanding. Can a farmer in the field meet the Prime Minister tomorrow morning? He's an Indian citizen. He voted for the Prime Minister. But is it possible that he will get a chance to have his audience? I doubt it. Maybe in 10,000 lifetimes. Or maybe never. So this nice point the verse is making. So first keep this impossibility factor in the mind. For the most insignificant person to meet the most important person is impossible. Unless you're in ISKCON. As Prabhupada said, impossible, my Gurudev said, impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. Vrindavan is the transcendental abode of the Lord. So first, the author is establishing a paradox. Is it possible for an insignificant person to meet the most important? Is it possible for the blind man to see the stars in the sky? Is it possible for a man with broken legs to cross over the mountains? Is it possible for a man with no arms to swim across the ocean? What's the answer? No. You understand English? Because some people only know Hindi. Like about 1.5 billion. Some people, about 1.5 billion people, only know Hindi over here. And a couple of people know English, and I'm one of the two. I'm in the minority. So now, so you might say, well, why is he saying this? Why is he making this dichotomy? Most insignificant, most important. So now, the next sentence, he gives the idea. So in the next sentence he's talking about Vrindavan and he's talking about himself. So in this analogy or this dichotomy, comparison, the most important thing is place is Vrindavan Dham, the holy sacred abode of Vrindavan. But I'm the most fallen, I'm the most insignificant, I'm Daridra, I'm Dina, I'm very fallen, Patita, Pavan. Therefore, since I am so fallen, insignificant, and Vrindavan is so great and exalted, how will my desire to reside in Vrindavan ever be fulfilled? So he's posing a problem here. I want Vrindavan Vas. But how is it possible? What is my adhikar? What is my qualification? I'm nothing. I have nothing. I'm insignificant. I have no piety, no punya, no knowledge, no devotion, no connections, no money, no land, no anything. How can I live in Krishna's holy land? What magic will make it possible? What stroke of good fortune will fall upon me to give me access to that wonderful gift of treasure living in Vrindavan? How will it ever happen? I can only say this. I have no other alternative than Radha Nama Radha Nama Prabhavena Jadi Shan Melanam Tayo. I have no other alternative. My only solace in this predicament is the holy name of Sri Radha. That Prabhav, that Hindi word Prabhav, that power, that influence, that effect, that inconceivable, incalculable and unlimited effect that can be created by chanting Radha Nam, Radha Nama Prabhavena. May the auspicious name of Sri Radha become the source of my inspiration. Another translation. There is no place in this entire universe, and in the next universe, and every universe, however many universes you can count, there's no place in the entire creation that is more exalted than the forest of Vrindavan. Vrindaranya uttamam nasti matto haramam kvachit. Uttamam, Vrindaranya, the forest. Aranya means forest. The forest of Vrindavan is nasti matto. There's nothing. Where can you go? You can't go beyond this. But no person is lower than me. Hadamam kvachit, matto hadamam kvachit. It is only by the power of Sri Radha's holy name that these two may meet. Syan Melanan. Melanan Toyo. Toyo means two. Milan, Melanam is Sanskrit. Melanam, Milan, like Hindi. How will the lowest meet the highest? There must be an intermediator. At any rate, what makes it happen? What makes brings the highest? What connects the lowest to the highest? Radha. So what is he saying here? He's saying that to attain Radha Vas, I have no qualification. I am the lowest. Vrindaranya uttamam. That you'll not find anyone lower than me, and more unqualified or insignificant. But I have an itcha. I have a desire. I want to live in this holy land of Vrindavan, because this is the place of Radha Nam, Radha Guna, Leela, Radha's holy abode, her birthplace, Revel Varsana, Givarvan, her Leela Stalis, her Kunjagalis and Leela Stalis, and her Keli Kunjas, and the Rasa Mandalas, and her caves and mountains and pastures, and forest groves and Kadamba Kandis, and waterfalls and lakes, and Sarovaras. This is Radha's place, where she meets with Krishna and enjoys in so many colorful and picturesque and beautiful ways. Through the entire pageantry of love, and all its different expressions of rhythm and dance, and music and romance. But how can I ever attain there? Oh, I have to take shelter of Nam Bhajan. Nam Bhajan. And what is the name? What is the name that acts like a key to open the lock that keeps me out of Vrindavan? The door has a lock, and you need the proper key in the lock. You put the key in the lock, open it, you're in the treasure house. It may be a house full of jewels, maybe a house full of black money, some politician's house, 10,000 million crores, 1,000 million zillion crores stashed up, stolen, Goofer's money. goofer scam. Goofing scam. And then you'll go there, if you have the proper key, you'll go there and get all that treasure. So what is the key that unlocks entrance to Vrindavan Vas? What is the passport that grants one entrance to the holy land of Vrindavan? Radha Nama. So he's banking. I have no alternative. There's nothing else I can do but chant Radha, Radha, Radha. This is the next to the last verse of the book. It's called Vrndavana Mahimamrta. Vrindavana Mahimamrta. By Prabodh Ananda Saraswati Thakur. Saraswati Pad. Generally he's referred to as Saraswati Pad in the Gaudiya circles. He's been speaking for 2,000 verses about the glories of Vrindavan. The trees, the forests, the birds, the plants, the water, the devotees, the gopis, the gopas, cows, everything. And we're hearing so many verses about Radha Nama. Now this is, the last two verses of the book end with Nam, glorification of Nam Sankirtan. Whose name? A special name, Radha Nama. Radha's name. Vrindavan means Radha, Vrindavan means Radha, Radha means Vrindavan. Everywhere Krishna is there. You go to Ayodhya, Krishna is there as Ram. You go to South Indian temples, Krishna is there as Vishnu. You go to Himalayas in the north, Krishna is there as Badrinath. You go to the west in Dwarka, Dwarkadam, Krishna is there as Dwarkadish. So many forms of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And everywhere they're chanting Krishna's name, Bhagavan Nam. But here it's Radha, 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 Radha. Shri Dham Vrindavan. Shri Dham, this is the Dham of Shri, which is a place full of trees and forests. Shri Dham Vrindavan. Vrindavan. Van means forest, Brinda means group of. The word Brinda means group. Gaur Bhakta, Brinda Ki Jai. Group of, collection of, assembly of, Brinda, series of, Brinda. Vrindavan, there's a Dwadasa, there's 12 Mukhya Vans in Vrindavan and 147 Upavans, smaller forests. Kadiravan and so many forests are there. Lohavan, Matvan and this van and that van, Bailvan and so many vans. The 12 forests, Bandiravan, Bhadravan, Bindiravan, and Bailvan, then Lohavan, Mahavan, Madhavan, Talavan, Bahulavan, Vrindavan, Kamvan, and it goes on and on and on, van and van and van. So that means Brinda. There's forest after forest, this Kadamakani, that Tamal van, this van, that van, so many vans, thousand forests. Charasi Kosh Parikama, Charasi Kosh, 168 square miles of forests. That's how it was 500 years ago, 200 years ago, 150 years ago. Believe it or not. And it was a dham, it was a holy dham. It is a holy dham, a tirth, a spiritual place, a place of lila. Of who? Of Shri. Shri means Shakti, Stri, woman. Prakriti, Stri, Shri. Shri Dham, Vrindavan. It is the Dham of Radha. Who is this Krishna? Something you heard Krishna? I don't know. Well, so many Gokuls told somebody he got tied up and that was the end of him. Some little blue boy's running around making nonsense and nuisance of himself, stealing butter, and his mother tied him up, and that's the last we heard of him. And then he got untied, and then the gopis just simply clapped their hands and say, "Listen, if you dance for us, we'll give you one ladu." So then they would clap their hands, saying Krishna Kaniya, and sing songs and clap their hands, and he would dance and then stop and say, "Oh, ladu, ladu." No, not dance some more. Gopala Dev, Gopala, Govinda Gopal. And then he danced more. Okay, now ladu, okay. And then So God is dancing for ladus. Ladu and Gokul. This is Gopal Raj. But he's not so powerful here. He's simply Kotwari. He's considered the Kotwari of Radha. He's a doorman with shield and sword in his hand, guarding the door of Vrindavaneshwari Radharani. About this Radha Nama Prabhav, that to attain, if one wants to, the conclusion here for all of us, at the conclusion of Vrindavana Mahimamrta, is that unlike many of us, we don't have the fortune of Prabodhananda Saraswati. Prabodhananda Saraswati had the good fortune, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was granted Brajavas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a personification of Radha Nama. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahayanya. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Prabhu Ananda Saraswati in South India in Sriranga Kshetra 540 years ago, and he advised him to go to Vrindavan and do bhajan. So he did, and he lived in the banks of the Yamuna in Kaliyagat, looking at all those blue lotus flowers. And he, of course, is fortunate, but he's telling us that he's saying, oh, he's most insignificant, and how will he attain Brajavas? Well, he's taking our role, because we are Dina, Patita Bhavan, we are very fallen, Patit, and Dina, lowly and poor. So for us to attain Brajavas may be impossible, but he's giving a key here, he's giving a solution here. He's saying simply by chanting Radha Nam, this is the only solace, that there's so much prabhav, so much power is there in Radha's Nam. Radha Namam Prabhavena Yalishan Melanam Toyo, that I will get a chance to reach this unattainable, impossible to unbelievable opportunity to live in Vrindavan, Vrindavana Uttamam. Nasti Nasti Matto Haramam Kvachit. It would never be possible by any other means or any other process or way than this, by a stroke of unlimited good fortune, incalculable mercy that comes in Radha's Nam. As Radha's Nam has all of her kripa and all of her karuna. Text 126, which is the final verse of this final Shataka 17. Srimad Vrindavaner Shwaraya Satkrit Namaika Mangalam Sava Ascharyananta Shaktir Mukhe Vijayantam Mama. The holy names of Sri Radha, who is the predominating deity of Vrindavan, are most auspicious. Srimad Vrindavan Swarya Satkrit, the only Shwarya. Satkrit means only. Satkrit, the only, and Srimad Vrindavan, the only Shwarya, Aishwarya, the only ruling personalities. Ek Nam Mangalam. Nam Eka, Ek Nam Mangalam. Only this auspicious name is ruling Vrindavan. Is written on all the trees, inscribed in all the buildings, chanted by all the residents, remembered by everyone when they're dying, and chanted by everyone when they begin speaking. When Brijbasis begin speaking, the first word they say is Radha. We had one friend and his wife. His wife's name is Sri Radha. And he had a child born in somewhere, I don't know where. But he came here and he wasn't speaking, very young baby. I said he should only speak Radha Nam, not any other nonsense. So one day he started speaking, and they filmed on their camera, what do they call it, their cell phone. And he was saying, Radhe, Radhe. The first word he said was Radhe. And when a Brijvasi dies, he says, Radha, Radha. This is the deity here, as Ananta Shakti Mukhe Vijayanta Mama. My mouth will give me complete success. May her holy name The holy names of Radha, who is the predominating deity of Vrindavan, are most auspicious. Mangalam. Radha's holy names are invested with unlimited potencies. Harashcharya, or wondrous. Sarvashcharya Ananta Shakti. Unlimited power, okay, unlimited power, but it's not only unlimited, ananta, there's no end to the power in Radha's Nam. But it's more, there's another qualification, another attribute of Radha's unlimited names, is Sarva Ashcharya. The sum total of all wondrous things is contained in Radha's name. The Sarva Ashcharya, the sum total of all wondrous things, the wonder of all wonders, the quintessence of all wonders, of all possible wondrous things. There's nothing more wonderful that can match or compare the auspiciousness or wonder or grandeur, beauty, power, prabhav, and effect and compassion and mercy of Radha to Radha's Nam. Radha, Radha, Radha. May Radha's holy name manifest on my tongue even once. Mukhe Vijayantam Mama. That's the last verse of this book. May be all wonderful, Sarva Ashcharya, limitlessly powerful and supremely auspicious holy name of Vrindavan's Queen. Once be glorious in my mouth. Vijayantam, my mouth, Mukhe Mama, may it once be victorious in my mouth, may it conquer my mouth once, at least once, he's saying. This is his swan song, his sweet final song at the time of concluding the book. They say, I've read, I've not heard, when a hunts or a swan is about to die, it sings its sweetest song for some reason or other. They say the swan apparently has some type of singing. I've never heard. I've heard them squawking and making noise when their babies are threatened. I never heard a swan sing, but apparently there is such a phenomenon. So this is the final word. The bottom line is that Prabhupada Saraswati is praying that Mama Mukhe Sarvashchaya Ananta Shaktir Mangala Radha Namam. That Eka Mangalam, Mangal. There's only one auspicious thing in this world, and that is the holy name of the Lord and his consort Radha. Hare Krishna. So he concludes his treatise of Vrindavana Mahimamrta on the sweetest of sweet notes. Srimad Vrindavana Shwarya. The Shwarya means the queen, the ruler, the predominating deity. The queen of Vrindavan is none other than Vrindavaneshwari Radha. And her name reigns supreme here and has the qualities of unlimited wonder and unlimited power and mercy. And he's praying that that name may be victorious, may reign supreme and victorious in my mouth at least once. And if I can chant the name of Radha once without offense and purely, then all these wonderful powers and benefits and benedictions will fall upon me. And 1, I will attain eternal residence in Vrindavan. 2, I will attain all the wonderful powers of Krishna to serve him. And 3, I will attain pure love of God by the mercy of Karunamayi Radha. Radha, Radha, Radha. So many other names and words manifest on our tongue. So much what we call prajalpa, excessive jalpa, prakrishtarena. Pra means excessive, a lot, prakrishna, heavy amount. Jalpa means nonsense talk, goofy talks. Gramya katha. What's the cricket score? Who won, Pakistan or Australia? Who won the election? Who won the fashion contest? Who got the promotion? Who got a perk? Who got fired? Who got murdered? Who won? Who lost? Oh, he said, she said? He did, she did? Who did, why did? How did, where did? Who did, I did? It's all nonsense talk, useless talk. It's demotional talks, not promotional talks. And they're far from devotional talks. Such talks will demote you, send you down, not promote you or uplift you, and certainly not increase your love and devotion for God. Demotional talks, promotional talk. We say he gave a promotional talk in the business meeting. He promoted his project. There's demotional, promotional, and devotional. That's Harikatha, Harikatamritam. Talks about God, Bhagavan Katha, Ram Katha, Krishna Katha, Hari Katha, Radha Katha. These are all Amrit, nectar, life-giving, life-promoting, life-expanding, life-extending, and life-liberating. These are the talks of Radha and Krishna, which we hanker for. The more we hear and the more we speak, the more we promote our cause and progress back towards the spiritual world, the ultimate destination for the living being. So we'll continue, although the book is concluded with these two verses, the beat goes on. And tomorrow we'll hear 6 practices necessary to do Radha Bhajan. And Vrindavan is the abode of Radha's Nam. In our continuing section on the glories of Radha Nama Mahima. Radha 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 Radha
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 Radha Radha Radha Radha Radha Radha Radha Radha Radha Radha Radha Radha Radha Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe
Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe
Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe
Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe
Radhe Radhe Radhe Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jaya Radhe Jaya 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 Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri 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 Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Vrindavaneshwari ki jai Vrindavan Vihari Lala ki jai Radha Rani ki jai Giridhara ki jai 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 Shri Radhe Shama Kunda ki jai Radha Kunda ki jai Vanchakopachavyascha kripa sindhubhaiva chavadipana bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo Radha Krishna Goswami Pada ki jai